the Jocelyn Talk Show. Today we have a special guest from the Indonesian water pollution. Please tell us about yourself.
My name is Regina and I come from South Africa. I'm currently 30 years old. I come from a fairly poor family of 4 people. Me and my husband and my 2 kids. When I was 24, me and my husband decided to move to a new country. And so I moved here to Indonesia. I was employed as a teacher, but since the water contamination, my family members started getting sick, and so I was forced to quit my job. Since then on, every day, we are forced to haul water from the cleanest water source, which is the mineral well. The road to the well is pretty far away, and since we have no transportation, we must walk there. Also, we have to pay for the water. Sometimes we face problems like taxes that we can't afford to pay. We are forced to owe the government. The life is pretty hard, hauling water every day, walking a few kilometers away, and feeding my children. 2 years ago, I was hired by a very wealthy family to help them haul water. I had to say yes since my family needed the extra money. The family I work for now consists of 8 people. Me, another hired mom, the mom, dad, 3 daughters, and 1 son. I'm really grateful to feel the luxuries that they have. A big house with toilets and 4 rooms. Thank you for having me on your talk show.
Okay, thank you. Now I have a few questions to ask you. Please answer them in the clearest way as possible. So the first question is, what did you feel when you had to pay for taxes even though you were poor?
I felt like the government wants nothing but money from us. I feel not treated equally as the richer and luckier families.
The second question is, how did you solve your crisis of money shortage in your family?
Actually, I didn't. Around a year before my family got bankrupt, I got hired by another family to help them haul.
Okay, so the third question is, how did you feel when you were offered to be paid by another family to work for them?
I felt like I didn't want to join them, but I had to.
Did you actually accept the offer? Why or why not?
Actually, yes, I did. I accepted, mostly because my family needs the extra money, but I also accepted because I figured I wouldn't suffer as much in it.
So the final question is, what are you going to do in the future if this water contamination continues?
I will try to keep hauling water every day to keep my family healthy and alive. I will also try to help the family I'm working for survive, or my family needs me.
Okay, thank you, Georgina, for answering these questions. It's a pleasure to have you on our show.
Thank you.
Okay, goodbye.
Hi everyone and welcome back to the LOA Water News. Today we are going to talk about this question. How are factories and industries causing lack of access to clean water? Many industries and factories use a lot of water for processing machines and making the product. For example, did you know a barrel of beer, which is about 32 gallons, uses 1,500 gallons of water? And there are so many people who drink beer all around the world. And beer is made in industries and they use a lot of water from the areas around them. They are taking so much water around them that people who are living in the area is suffering from lack of water. Factories and industries using too much water is a big problem because they are getting the water from the location's groundwater and they are polluting it. People who are living in the area suffer shortage of water and lack of access to clean water. Firstly, factories like Coca-Cola uses water for the product, of course. They use water to cool down the machines as well. Why don't they use seawater? Seawater might break their machines. They also release the toxic waste into the water. It becomes so dirty until the people of the country can't drink the water. Did you know? 1 liter of Coca-Cola uses 9 liters of fresh water. 1/3 of it is to make the drink, and 2/3 of it is to clean the equipment. They are stealing water from the countries that their factories are in. Mineral water factories like Suez pump all the groundwater in the country and pollute the rivers by dumping the sewage in there. Or they release hot water after cooling their machinery into the river. That also pollutes the rivers as well because it will cause life to grow faster. If there is too many foreign objects in the water, the oxygen supply in it will be cut down and leave space for anaerobic microorganisms which do not need oxygen to survive, and it will release methane gas. Bhopal is in the middle of India in the state of Madhya Pradesh. Most of the people believe in the Hinduism religion. Bhopal has a culture of pan eating. Pan is a preparation with a betel leaf topped with a lot of different kinds of seasonings. The most common being tuna, katha, and supar, which is a nut. The people of Bhopal treat pan preparation as a science and an art. It is passed down from generations to generation. The problem that caused this water pollution in Bhopal was the Union Carbide gas leak in Bhopal 25 years ago. That was the biggest industry accident in the whole world. On the third day of the gas leak, 8,000 people died. Well, until now, that factory is still leaking chemicals into Bhopal's drinking water, and they are not taking any responsibility. According to BBC News about this water pollution, the chemicals can cause cancer, birth defects, and it affects your brain, kidneys, and liver. It affects the citizens' income as well because of the water. Farmers cannot grow good crops and the quality of the crops will be reduced. Or the people might not want to buy his crops because he used the polluted water that can cause deadly sicknesses to grow them. So the farmer loses money. They need water to grow betel leaves to make their traditional food, pan. If the betel leaves can cause deadly sicknesses, people would not want to buy it anymore and the pan makers would lose money. And if all these people loses money, how will they feed their family? So the whole family suffers as well.
Jagdish is usually taken for 10 years old. In fact, he's 22. He showed me the ID that proves it. Other people my age make fun of me, he told me. They're all much taller than me. I'm not sad or angry. I just wish I could be as tall as them. How despairing must a mother be to hold sentiments like this?
He isn't even growing. It would have been better if God had not given him to us. When I think about it, it would have been better if Jagdish had never even been born.
Supreme Court directed the state government to include 4 towns, JP Nagar, Kainchichola, Shakti Nagar and Karimbash to take part in a special project to clean Bhopal's drinking water. If this water pollution continues and no one does anything about it, people will start to get even more and more sick and it can lead to death. If nobody does anything about this problem, more people in Bhopal will get even more sick and more people will die every day from the waterborne illnesses.